Boom. We're live. Good morning. It is, what is today? Sunday morning. I'm out here in West Virginia, just getting ready to leave. Just got done checking all the lights, the tire pressure. Haven't fired the truck up yet. I'm going to wait probably about another 15 minutes and then fire the truck up and get back trailer trucking. Pretty eventful week, man. Uh, Made a pretty decent amount of money and kind of shaking things up a little bit. There's going to be some changes that I'm making, which are very exciting changes, but also kind of a little scary. I mean, everybody right now talks about stacking cash and saving your money, and the economy is going to crap. Which I mean, I see the inflation, I see craziness going on. But I'm making some decisions for my business that hopefully are good investments and good opportunities for me in the future. Um, Part of towel gang here. Sorry, I got it's raining out, so I got a little wet when I was out there doing my pre-trip. But yeah, I'm off of. Well, I don't want to fully give away my location, I guess. But yeah, there's some things in the works, some things are going to change, some things I'm really excited about, some things I'm a little bit hesitant and nervous about, because even though I've learned a lot and I've taken really good advice, there's still some things I haven't done. And I'm going to start doing more of it. And I guess that would kind of be more self dispatching and, trying to find late. Well, I'm going to kind of keep working with the contacts and the people that I've worked with the last, you know, however long it's been now, 19, 20 months, whatever. I'm going to keep working with those people. Um, but yeah, I'm a little bit, like I said, just a little bit nervous. We're kind of shaking things up a little bit. Um, try and try and see if this can, trying to see if buying my own trailer and doing things can generate more of a net income for me. Um, or at least help the business continue to grow in a time where a lot of things are stagnant. There isn't a lot of things that are really growing right now. Things are kind of, you know, slowing down or, just stopping. And I want to take another gamble, to be honest with you. I want to grow. I want to keep growing my business and keep adding assets to something that I started. And we all know a few months ago, well, not even a few months ago, maybe like 7, 8 months ago, I was talking about buying another truck. I'm really glad I didn't do that at that time. But what that allowed me to do is prepare to maybe buy another piece of equipment for my business. So I'm going to start looking at some reefer trailers and hopefully find something that I already got some really good leads. Um, I could buy a trailer through DIY if I wanted to. Um, so I think that's the next step is buy my own trailer. Um, Try dispatching myself a little bit more. Um, all they're all good things. They're just things in a time when everybody's talking about saving cash and pumping the brakes on things. I'm kind of doing the opposite. I'm going to spend money. I'm going to invest in my business. I'm going to invest more money into what I think I'm capable of doing. And hopefully the return at the end means more money in my pocket. Because that's the whole point of why I'm out here, right? I'm out here to make money, um, but also expand something and grow something. And I think as much as I wanted to buy another truck, I'm glad I didn't do it because mainly because of like breakdowns and how hard it is to get your truck fixed right now. Other than that, I still wish I had two trucks or even three. But I think the next logical step for me is to maybe purchase a trailer, maybe spread my wings and do more, like do more instead of always having a security blanket and relying on one person. You know, I think it's time that I spread my wings and take on a little bit more responsibility and do a little bit more. Um, I've learned a lot. I have the connections. I've already booked two of my own loads. Now I am on a load that brings me back to the Midwest right now, and then I am going home for a week. But I already secured my two loads for leaving the house in a week from now. Um, and a lot of the first one was based off of relationships with a customer that I made as a contractor. Um, I was able just to email her and be like, hey, I'm going to be empty in Minnesota on this date. Do you have anything? And she's like, yeah. You know, so I think it's important, especially if you are leased on to a carrier, to understand that you can also build relationships with these customers and these brokers. You know, you can do it by being a contractor. And I think if you're able to build these relationships and these connections, I think the next step, at least for me, like what's working for me right now, is to gain a little bit more independence. You know, um, I'm not going to talk about like the AB5 law and stuff because the reality is I don't know much about it. I mean, I know the headlines, I know what I've read, I interpret it the way that I interpret it, which might be different than other people. But I think for me as a business, I think the best thing I can do for myself is continue to grow and maybe distance myself. That's the wrong word. Gain more independence through a carrier that I'm leased on to. So I'm making the decision to shake stuff up along with the tutelage of like DIY and stuff like that. You know, it's just, you know, like I said, everybody right now talks about doom and gloom, right? And I'm kind of the opposite. And I know that sounds weird, but I'm not saying everything's peachy. That is not what I'm saying. But I'm going to take advantage of maybe some people that overextended themselves in like purchasing equipment and thinking rates were going to stay at $5, $6, $7 a mile and built their business on that. I have the opportunity right now to maybe buy the trailer that I want at a lower cost. That's going to benefit me. Say hi to a couple of people. Insults in here. What's going on, man? When the chips are down, I'm here in the chat. Yeah, it's an early morning, man. I don't expect anybody to actually be in here. I was just bored, got done doing my pre-trip, and wanted to go live real quick because I wanted to. Maybe I'll go live later today, have some interaction with people because I think what I'm thinking and what I just explained is the right move for me. I think it's the like necessary move for me. I think we all should gain a certain amount of independence within our business and within our company. Nomadic Brits in the house. What's going on, man? For all that you that don't know, I kind of messed with Nomadic real quick last night. Hope you didn't take offense, brother. I was joking around. Um, I saw your comment a little bit after that, but I was merely joking, bro. You know that. I at least hope you know that. I am not a snake. um, but yeah, I think it's time that I gain a little bit more independence and remember when you thought I was a troll? Yeah, Insult, I do. And I mean, you're around all the time, but yeah, I used to think you were a troll. That's funny. I can't believe you remember that. The reason I thought you were a troll is there's people that like to kind of pull my chains and rip on me here on YouTube. And people that I know, and I'll see weird things. You know, there's a great troll out there, Fate Trucking's goatee. Now I don't know who it is, but that's great. Like, so yeah, I did at one time think you were a troll. I knew you were pulling my leg. All right, good, good. Stewart's in the house, 100%. Do the opposite to everyone else. When times are down, grow and stretch them legs. That's what I'm kind of thinking of doing. Um, Stewart, I don't know if it's the right move. Here's the thing. The trailer is not going to break me. You know what I mean? Buying a trailer isn't going to break me. Will it put a dent in my cash flow or whatever? Yeah, it will. And I'm not saying I'm going to purchase the whole thing up front. And I don't know the process that I'm going to go yet. I just think it's the next move that I need to make. And I'm not, I mean, when I say I'm not scared, it's not that I don't worry about things, because I do. I've been to the bottom of the barrel. I've been dead broke. You know what I mean? I've lived through what I thought at the time back in 2008. Was it 2008? The recession that we had back then, the housing bubble bursting. I was one of the statistics. I lost a house in that. I lost a job. I've lived through those times before, where rice and beans were my main meal. You know, I've lived through this. I've been where we're headed, I guess. And I learned from those experiences. And you know what? Back then, when all that negative crap happened to me, I relied on somebody else. Meaning, I relied on the job I had. I relied on the company that I worked for. I relied on so many things outside of myself that I learned from that. And I learned how to conduct like my personal life differently. I didn't need all the new stuff. I didn't need to have mounting debt because I carried mounting debt. I had 2 brand new cars, had a house. I had a lot of things that one by one were just taken. And I learned from that experience to where, you know, I'm not saying like I could withstand everything, but I could withstand more today than I could, you know, back in like 2008. I've positioned myself in my life to be able to withstand those type of things. And if I can grow my business right now and add a piece of equipment to my business that generates me more of a net income on top of more of a gross, like I think that's a good idea. I really do. Yeah, it will add to my net for sure. Um, I don't want to share too much right now because decisions fully haven't been made, and I don't want to like speak out of turn, if you know what I'm trying to say. If you can read between the lines, I don't want to say something that isn't pen to paper yet. Once it's pen to paper, I can talk about it more. But yeah, it will add more of a net income to me. It will grow my business in a time when maybe a lot of people aren't trying to do that, or maybe they're trying to sell off equipment, and I can come in and, you know, get a good piece of equipment for a reasonable price. That's how I got my truck, you know. But I think it's time for me to start rolling down the road. I just wanted to go live real quick. I really appreciate the couple people that stopped in here. Insult, you're not a troll. Stuart, it's always good to see you, man. Nomadic Brit, it's always good to see you, man. I'm glad you have thick skin and can handle joking around. So I'm gonna jump off here. I might go live later tonight. I don't have that busy of a day. I have to get from where I am now in West Virginia over to like Dayton, Ohio. Um, I don't have a lot of driving to put in today. So I think that's what we'll do. How do you, is that Musa? Musa, good morning. I don't think I've recognized your name before. Thanks for stopping in here. If I butchered your name, I apologize. Musa, Stuart. Well, I would do it then. Just don't force a move. I think the next 6 months will be some good equipment prices. Yeah, I'm not going to force any. I'm not built that way. Like, I'm just not built that way. If I was built that way, I would have multiple trucks right now. I would have forced the purchase of another truck. Um, I don't I don't really force anything in my life. I'm the type of guy that kind of steps back and looks at the big picture and tries to make decisions that I think are right. Now, it doesn't mean I get them right all the time. I've made decisions before that have backfired in my face. But you know what? Since I started this venture and became an owner operator, I feel like I've done the right things. I've put myself in good positions. The decisions I've made have have worked out. I've had great tutelage, you know, Cash is King, DIY Semi, other people that show up in the chat. Like, I've had tutelage, haven't done this all on my own. And I still won't be 100% on my own. But I do think gaining more independence right now is like a good thing. And it's something I should try and do. Something that I should try and do. And you know, if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna, it's not gonna break me. It's not gonna destroy me. Nomadic Brit says each month that passes will give you more bantering for price against equipment. Absolutely. And we're already there, man. Like, I don't know how much you guys look at things. Like, I've 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 bought stuff in auctions before. Now, not like trucking equipment and trailers and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's what I'm doing is buying stuff from auctions, but I've purchased things from like like county auctions and plywood and stuff like that. And if you check these auctions right now, there is so much stuff that people are liquidating, people are getting rid of, and getting rid of them at like fairly decent prices. So, you know, like I said, hey, I don't want to speak out of turn because ink hasn't been, you know, I haven't put pen to paper yet, but it's all kind of working itself out. Like I said, I did something yesterday that I've talked about. I've booked some of my own freight before. Well, what I mean by that is, like, I've talked to brokers, I've negotiated with certain people, but I usually know these people. Yesterday, my first load that I booked, I knew the person. The second load I booked, I didn't know I didn't know the person at all. And it wasn't that bad of a process. I got more money out of what he was offering for the load. It's a lane that I run, so I know like the high end and I know the low end of that lane. And I came right in at like the middle of those, and he met me there. And that's all things that I think we should do, even as independent contractors, maybe being leased onto a carrier. We should learn how to like grow independently of the carrier. You know what I mean? Um, and like I said, I'm not going to talk about AB5 or anything, but a couple of reasons. A, I don't live in California. B, anything that I speak about is going to be my opinion on what I read. And I have seen vast differences in people's opinions on this when I think it's kind of simple to see what it says when you read the legislation, you know? So I think maybe growing independently through a carrier right now is what I should do. It's only going to benefit me, I think. But let me read a couple of these real quick. Yeah, Nomadic Brit is right. It says auction sites send ripples out, which will eventually affect a lot of pricing. Absolutely. I made around eight. No, this is insult. I made around $800 the other day fixing a boat thermostat. I'm moving to boats. Oh, really? Well, that's good. I don't know much about marine equipment. I grew up with boats and everything like that, and I always just brought it. Where I grew up, we had like a local guy that fixed inboard and outboard motors if you needed like service done to your boat. So we always brought our boats there. Um, yeah, well, you live in California and Salt, and you like boating. You've talked about wanting to, if I remember right, like boat to, I forget where you said, basically across the sea, around the world type of crap. Uh, I forget where you said Indonesia or something. I don't remember what you said. But yeah, I'm gonna jump off here. I'm gonna get trailer trucking. Hope everybody has a great day. If you're out there driving today, just be safe. Try and make some money and try and get home to your family. So we'll talk later. Maybe I'll go live later tonight. Insult, nice to see you. Nomadic, nice to see you. Stuart, Moo, where a new name came in here. I don't want to. Musa, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.